Kia ora, and here is question 3D from last year's school algebra exam. This is it here, so it's one of these wordy ones that you all love so much. Catherine tells her friend Sammy that there is only one solution to the following statement. When 2 is added to a certain number, the result is the same as when 15 is divided by the same number. So Sammy disagrees and argues that there is more than one solution. And if you are Catherine or Sammy who's out there watching, I hope you enjoy this question. Use algebraic techniques to explain who's right. So let's let the number be x. So we'll start by saying that. Now let's see what we've got. When 2 is added to a certain number, so that's x plus 2, the result is the same as when 15 is divided by the same number. So 15 divided by x gives me that. So what we've been asked to do is to say whether there is one or more than one solution to that. So there are two ways to do this. The first way is to muck around with it and turn it into a quadratic and solve the quadratic and see how many solutions there are and what those solutions are. The second way is to turn it into a quadratic and then look at the discriminant. And both of those ways are fine. I'm going to first of all change it to a quadratic and factorise, because I think that's what most of you probably will choose to do. So multiplying through, we get x squared plus 2x is equal to 15. X squared plus 2x minus 15 equals 0. Pretty easy one to factorise. X plus 5, x take away 3, and we see that x is equal to negative 5, or x is equal to 3. Now, when we've got an equation that started life with fractions in it, it's always a good idea just to go back and check that that's all okay. We have to especially make sure we're not dividing by 0, but that's fine here. So both of those solutions work. Negative 5 plus 2 gives me negative 3, and 15 divided by negative 5 also gives me negative 3. So that solution's good. And we can do the same thing with x equals 3, and you can do that for yourself. Right, so we've found that we've got two solutions. And I can't remember if that was Catherine or Sammy. So let's go back and have a look at the question. So two solutions. Right, so Catherine said there was one solution and Sammy said there was more than one solution. So Sammy is right. Now let's look at the other way to do it, which is to use the discriminant on the quadratic. So if we go back to the step where we found the quadratic, up here, we're still going to start the same way, and then we're just going to figure out the discriminant of that. So we had x squared plus 2x, sorry about that, so x squared plus 2x minus 15 equals 0, and then we can do b squared minus 4ac to save us actually having to solve it, and we get 4 minus 4 times 1 times negative 15, which gives me 4 plus 60, 64, right, and that's strictly greater than 0, so we've got two solutions. And again, we can say Sammy was, Sammy was right. So either of those approaches works, and that was a merit question. In this case, the quadratic was so easy to factorise that I think most of you probably will go on and solve that equation, but it's good to be able to think about problems like this in different ways. Thanks for watching.